Hi, this is Chris, Game Dust Sleeves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with my co-host, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl,
What's up, everybody?
and my guest gamers, DanCavDragon,
Hello, everyone.
BonesZ06,
What's up, fellow YouTubers?
and Kyle the Kollector.
Welcome, collectors! Hey!
Our first segment is Sleeve It or Leave It. The first game is 007 GoldenEye. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I would definitely sleeve this. This is a classic game. Everybody played this, I think, and it's one of my fond memories playing this game. So definitely sleeve it.
Bones?
I already have it sleeved, so there's the answer.
And Linda?
Yeah, I would definitely sleeve that. Classic game.
Kyle?
Only if it was in a gold sleeve, I would say. I'll just leave that one. Classic.
Next game is Bomberman 64. Bones, would you sleeve it or leave it?
I also have that one sleeved already, so that will be sleeved.
Dan?
I don't remember playing this game that much, though. It wouldn't be the first one I sleeve, so I would say no.
Kyle?
No, I wouldn't sleeve that one. I remember that one getting a lot of hate when that came out.
Linda?
It's not a bad game, but I wouldn't sleeve it.
Okay, the next game is Conquer Live and Reloaded. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
No, I would definitely sleeve Conquer for the 64, but this one, I don't remember hearing too much about it being very good, so I wouldn't sleeve it.
Bones?
I do not currently have an Xbox sleeved game. The cover is definitely cool as hell, so it would be a neat one to have 3D popped. But you know what? I would sleeve that one. Conkers is a good game, so yeah.
Okay, Dan, same thing for you. Would you 3D pop sleeve that one?
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool, I guess, the cover. So if it did come in 3D, I may have to sleeve it.
Linda?
Nah, I wouldn't sleeve it.
Not even in 3D?
No.
Okay. Kyle?
I would not sleeve that. Nah.
Not even in 3D?
Leave it to the elements. Nah.
Okay. The next one is 3D textures for the Virtual Boy. Kyle, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Whew. I would say sleeve that one just because, hey, it's Virtual Boy. It's going to be a rare game.
Linda?
Nah, I wouldn't sleeve the Virtual Boy cartridges. Just my thing.
Dan?
Yeah, I would sleeve it. There's just so few Virtual Boy games, so you might as well treat them nicely.
Bones?
Okay, I'm gonna go with the opposite. I hate the Virtual Boy, so treat them like crap. No, I would
Tell them how
Don't
you
hold
feel.
back, man.
Yeah, no, just tell us how you feel. It's all right.
overpriced
Wow.
junk.
Did it
Wow.
like burn your retinas or something? Are you blind?
No, it's such
Did
a
it hurt
junk
you?
system.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty bad console. Yeah.
To each their own, I guess.
But it's rare. All the games are rare, yeah.
It is rare.
But that doesn't equal good, I guess.
No. No, there's a lot of crappy rare ones.
Yeah. It's true, yeah.
All right, next segment is Guess That Box Art. We'll start. All right, so first off, the first image, does anybody know what that is?
Kind of. I'm not sure.
I don't know this one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
What console is it for?
It's N64.
Oh, Mikey would have known this one then.
Let's start with Dan. Dan, what's your guess?
Shoot. This one, I have no clue what this one is. How about I'll just say Conquer's Bad for a Day, since we talked about that already.
No. Bones, you want to give it a go?
Well, when you didn't have, well, when you had not said that it was 64, I was going to say like it's Puss in Boots, but since that's not on the 64, uh, Milo's Secret Adventure or something like that. Mylon's? No, I don't know.
Linda?
I have no
Go ahead,
idea.
give it a go.
Mm, I see grass and I see a little character. So it's gotta be something to the effect of getting a vibe like Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. Because the way the art is, it's kind of like that. So I'm gonna guess Diddy Kong Racer. Why not?
You got it.
Oh
What?
wow.
Wow, nice one.
Well, you see the racing wheel in the cat's hand, right?
Yeah, I kind of guessed that because I was like, it's either got to be like some kind of racing game, and then but the art is kind of like how Nintendo does it for like Donkey Kong.
Right.
The little guy, little vibe of like Donkey Kong all the time.
Yep.
Like it's got to be one of those.
That green blob though. That looks like a virus or something.
It's gotta be like
It's a,
one
it's
of
a
the.
bush.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to. That's what I was thinking of. It's got to be like because it looks like a landscape kind of thing.
Right.
The random one thing there. I was like, why did they even throw that in there? But I guess they were trying to like accent the cat. Maybe I don't know.
So it showed depth perception. That's what that is.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go on to the next box art. This one is also an N64 title.
Oh, okay. We're gonna stick with N64.
Dan, give it a go.
I do know this one. I
Oh,
do
you
know
I
this.
know this
Bones,
too.
you know it. Linda, you know
Yep.
it.
I love how you just like automatically like let's just skip to. Don't go to him.
Linda, you know it.
I'm not sure.
This one's a little bit more obvious.
Like, I'm getting like a Dr. Mario vibe.
Yeah, you got it. That was it. It's Dr. Mario for the 64.
Yeah, because I was like, I saw the pill and I saw the green like eyes. I was like, yeah, it looks like a virus.
All right, to the next segment, logo sleeve of the month. This month, this goes to Kyle the Kollector.
Woo!
Kyle's
Hey,
yeah, Kyle's logo
welcome
sleeves
collectors.
are available for sale. Please DM me, contact me, and I will give proceeds to Kyle every time one is sold.
All right, thank you. Yeah, love my sleeves. They've been coming out really good, so appreciate that, and
Oh, you're welcome.
highly recommend getting your sleeves from VGDS because for high quality and everything. So really appreciate it, and very excited to be on the show. Thank you. Yeah, just can tell you a little bit about myself if you want me to.
All right, 1 second. Let me get through this next segment, and I'll hand it over to you.
Sure.
Thank you. Next segment is franchise of the month. This month is what, Dan?
Turok. Dinosaur Hunter. I guess it kind of fits with the N64 theme that we started with. And then the reason why I picked it out was because they have re-released some of these titles on the Switch, I think. And then Limited Run Games also did a couple of re-releases for it. But I'm just curious if any of you guys have played it. What do you guys think of it?
I have played it. I liked it. It's one of those games that is not for everybody. I can tell. Like a lot of people will say they don't like it, but for me, I like it. I like the fact that you can kill dinosaurs.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I love this game. I have the first three, I believe, on 64. I actually might have them all. There's another one. I think it's called Wars or something like that.
Yeah, there's one on the Xbox 360 also. I think it got released. Forgot when, but it was like during the console era, I think.
Yeah, definitely playing the first one though. When I first played that one, really, really good game. I was impressed with it. And then I got two when it first came out. Actually, I have that one complete in box because when it came out, I was like, oh, I definitely have to have this. Three I got later on down the road. That one's not complete, but definitely a good series in my opinion. What about you, Kyle?
It's been a while since I played that one, but I definitely remember that when that came out and that being a pretty big deal. Just because any game like that, the 64, it was first person, so kind of like GoldenEye, it was kind of a big deal. But I saw a meme recently where I was kind of talking about the miss, the draw distance you would see in that game, and like just how things have changed since then. But yeah, and I was on Limited Run recently, the website, and saw that they're coming out with re-release of that. So definitely deserves all that kind of attention because pretty groundbreaking for when it came out.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Bones? You like Turok?
I always enjoyed them. The controls took a bit for me to get used to. Getting used to that center joystick on the 64, depending on the game, was sometimes a little difficult. But like Linda said, you get to run around and kill dinosaurs. I mean, that was fun as hell.
And Dan, how about you? You like Turok?
Yeah, you know what? I like Kyle said, when it first came out, this was like the game to show off your N64. There weren't that many games, in the beginning of the N64. I remember this one was one of the earlier titles, and I remember my roommate at the time, he bought it, and we were playing it a lot. I didn't ever get this game until really recently, so I just never added it to my collection. So it's kind of one of the reasons why I picked it, because it's fresh addition to my own library. But yeah, I have a lot of memories of this game. It was pretty good. I didn't play 2 or 3 though. I have to be honest.
Yeah, cool. All right, Kyle. Now it's the time to let us know about yourself. What do you do on YouTube? What kind of games do you play, etc.? By all means, go ahead and.
Yeah, it's like my name says, just collector, just collect a lot of stuff. So definitely a lot of retro games. Kind of go in depth with that. I have a series called Yester Games. I kind of connect old games to movies and just collectibles and how they all connect. I did, one about Star Wars this year, and how Limited Run kind of redid some of those games with new translucent colored cartridges, and just kind of the history of all that. So, I try to connect with other YouTubers and kind of do homages. Like NES Addict, he's one of my favorite channels. But also try to do footage of GameCon when that last year, or any stores that sell anything cool, retro games. Try to get their name out there and network with them, connect. And then this year, just continuing on with that, Star Wars stuff, comic book stuff, but also, the history of the Zapper and kind of what happened after that came out, how that connects to movies and all that. Also doing an episode on sleeves, and not just VGDS ones, but also clear ones. To connect that with actual dust cleaners, the cartridges where you would clean out your console, the contacts, and things like that. So just trying to, connect history with collectibles and just network with other YouTubers and kind of my name out there and just do some homages and things like that. But yeah, I put a lot of comedy in this. Try to make it funny, lighthearted, and just have a good time with it. So that's about it. Yeah.
Are you a big Limited Run fan, or are you just?
No, I'm not at all, and tried to avoid buying anything from them for the longest time. But I just finally bought. They had like a Shadows of the Empire, clear purple cartridge, and it's on the old hardback from the '90s from those figures, and so it's kind of merging my favorite things, figures, with cartridges. So I was like, oh man, like this is definitely talking to me. So I had to get it. But I talked to You Nerd, and they did an episode over like a Jumanji Limited Run box set they bought, and I just kind of asked them a lot of questions like, hey, can you trust limited run? Like, what's their customer service like, and all things like that.
Yeah.
What's the quality like? And they were like, yeah, it's good. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, as far as limited
I'll give them
run's
a try.
concerned, yeah, I don't really buy from limited run. I try to buy everything original. Original is always best, I feel.
Yeah, that's the only thing I bought, but I just thought, hey, you know, since they said it was, you know, good quality, I was like, well, I'll try to buy one item, you know, just to see what I think of it. So but that's pretty good looking cartridges, but I'm not, you know, nothing I'm going to buy a whole bunch of. Yeah.
What do you collect the most?
Yeah, I'd say Zelda stuff, Mario stuff, Metroid stuff. So just anything that connects to those three. There's so many, you know, decades of those items that connect to those franchises, that those three franchises really keep me busy. But growing up, you know, definitely NES has got a big part, has been a big part of my life, just because back in the 90s, you could go to a garage sale and, man, you could buy like 20 cartridges for like, you know, a few dollars and a console. So back then, just anytime I'd go visit family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, they always had an NES connected to some TV in the house, and just sit there and play for hours. So, you know, my fondest memories would be Super Mario 2, definitely, and DuckTales, Ninja Gaiden, just anything like that. You know, just plug it in, just play for a couple hours, and you know, you knew, hey, back then they were cheap, you know, so you just have a stack and just go through them pretty much for a whole afternoon. Which now, of course, they're harder to come by and people are collecting them more. But back in the day, man, they were everywhere. You couldn't get rid of NES cards, you know, like
Right.
the prices you'd see at FuncoLand and stuff. So it's kind of crazy.
That leads me into what console do you prefer? Is
Um,
it NES or is it another? Like, it could be anything from retro to modern.
yeah. My fondest memories would probably be the 64. Just because the whole merge, you know, or the whole step to 3D, merging those old elements with the 3D like they did with Ocarina of Time, you know, R64, Banjo Kazooie, games kind of blew me away. Of course, GoldenEye, no doubt. Just all the late nights you would be able to play those games, you know, 4-player, Mario Kart. 4-player was the battles. Definitely have great memories of doing that. But yes, I'd say 64. But as far as versatility, I'm, you know, I'm a fan of the Wii just because you can play some GameCube games on that pretty easily, things like that. So, and then just games like Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii, having 3 games on one CD. You know, any kind of re-release like that, I try to snatch up too. So, but definitely, yeah, NES super important, SNES super important, but I like them all definitely. So,
Yeah, in my opinion, nothing beats playing with somebody next to you. This online stuff is not. It's not like when we were kids playing next to the person that was playing the game with you. Instead of
yeah, just like, you know, looking at Retro Mikey a few minutes ago. You know, I know he's a big Turtles fan, of course, but you know, those are some of the fondest memories too. Playing 2-player on NES or SNES. You know, Turtles and, you know, Time, or the arcade game TMNT2. You know, just playing with somebody, River City Ransom. Definitely,
right,
big time.
You don't get that experience in today's world, really, because everybody plays online. It's not the same, I don't think, anyway. I've done both. I played, you know, when I was younger, I used to play a lot of games. The person was right next to me. I was a best friend growing up. Now,
Exactly. Yeah.
now in today's age, it's totally different. I like yesteryear, I guess you can say, when it comes to
Exactly. That's why I called my series Yester Games, because it's just all those games. Like Turtles. Eventually, I'll do, you know, have an episode on Turtles. Just the memories of, yeah, or even with Spider-Man games. Those weren't 2-player, but you know, like Maximum Carnage or something. But you could always pass the controller over to the next person once you die, things like that. So just being in the same room, yeah, definitely.
Are you currently creating content right now, or have you subsided?
Yeah, so I've been took a break in spring of 2020, just because I was working at home, a baby. I was real busy trying to juggle that, looking for a new job. So got one. So excited about that. Starting 2 months, but just really busy. So anytime I was on the computer, I was usually doing something important that kept me from creating the videos. Because before all the craziness happened, I was trying to come out with a video at least once a month, but took a 3 month break. But man, this summer I've got the next 2 months open. So a lot of videos coming will be out in 2020 for sure. So definitely, be subscribed, check it out. A lot of exciting things, covering a lot of different stuff. Definitely with the stores being open, I want to get back out there and kind of check these stores out. Like I saw Linda do video there on the Vegas Strip, that game repair store. These mom and pop shops definitely really do appreciate when you go in there, record, get their name out there. It's like I said about networking. Like they know you appreciate them, they appreciate you as a customer. It's just a good way to connect and appreciate what this is, because man, these stores, if we don't support them, they're gone. So we don't want that. So you've got to get those names out and show them that you care. You get that name out there, other people are going to grab onto that and start going into those stores. Then you go back to the store and they're like, man, thank you for creating that video and get our name out there, because it really helps. So things like that. And here in the Midwest, where I live, the Kansas-Missouri border, I've been seeing a lot of stores just disappear, and I don't want to see that anymore. So, just support them. So that's the plan.
Definitely life comes first. So YouTube is second. Life is definitely first. So anybody will understand you taking a break, or anybody for that matter taking a break. I mean, even myself, it comes a time where I need to take a break from Dust Leaves or take a break from doing the podcast. I actually did take a pretty long break from doing this. Life, it's important.
That's been kind of crazy, yeah, because with 2020, people either, like me, kind of slowed down, but I am, picking up here in the middle part of the year. But some people just were churning out videos like crazy. I guess is a way to.
It's a way to cope with what's going on too. Like that's
yeah. So it was hard for me to keep up because I already have a hard time keeping up with. Because they do like 2 videos a week,
and that's another thing. Like nobody can it's impossible to keep up with everybody. Like if you have one person that you're watching all the time, all right, then you could probably keep up. But if you have like 30, 40 people, 50 people that you're watching, yes, it's just no way.
I try to keep up with Midwest YouTubers, so like Retro Mikey, Retro Tony, anybody who's around here, but yeah, it can be hard. So,
go ahead.
Hey Dad, Let's Play, of course. He's got a good channel, but man, because he was stuck at home because he's a dad with all these kids, man, he was turning out videos like crazy. And so, trying to keep up with that. But if the videos, are short enough, I definitely try to keep up with as many of them as possible. But once I get over that 10-minute mark, it can be kind of hard to catch up.
Yeah,
but I definitely put them all on my watch later playlist, and we'll get to them eventually.
I have to agree with you with the retro stores. Any way you can show them off is better for them in the way of getting more attraction to them. It's very important to keep those retro stores alive. I have about 7 in my area, and Dan and Bones can actually contest to this because they come to my house and we do this thing called a retro loop. We go to all 7, I think it's 7 places, and each one of those places they either I buy, they buy, somebody's buying something just so that we got them some kind of payment in their hands, because like they can go a day, 2 days, a week without getting anything. So
it's
important to provide for?
Yeah, just this week, I went to a store, traded a bunch of stuff in, and brought some cash. Like, hey, let me support you with what I can do. So this is what I can do, and they're like, great, awesome. So definitely just trying to keep these stores in business so that I can go to them later, down the road. So ignore them, they're gone. So
All right, let's get
I want that.
having a few of these people in here, these great people, give you a couple questions.
Sure.
Go ahead, Bones. You want to start it? You got any questions for Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle, do you think you do more hunting or purchasing online, and which one do you prefer more? Do you like going out hunting more, or do you like to shop more online?
Definitely hunting because you have it in your hand. Like you're there in person, you can see it, look at it, haggle. There's just all sorts of condition issues you want to be kind of wary of. And I go to stores there in the middle of Missouri sometimes, and you just talk to them. Hey, man, like, what's your best cartridge you have for this title, like Majora's Mask or something? And they can pull stuff out from the back and be like, here's my best copy or something. I'll be like, all right, great, that works. Or, going into one, I'm in Kansas City, so in the northern part, going to a store and seeing like a Sega Menace or so, and I don't need that. But at that price, seeing it drop every couple of months, $10-20, where I'm finally like, hey, man, I can buy this, and this thing's huge. So if I was to buy this online, the shipping would be more than the gun's worth. So definitely loving to buy, especially the bigger stuff in person, just because you cut that whole middleman of like the shipping prices out of the equation, and then you can check the condition right there and then. So definitely try to buy in person when you can.
Plus, you want to support your local retro stores. Whereas
exactly,
you're not supporting your local retro store if you buy online. You want to, like, especially if you're only paying like a few more dollars than what you would find online. That's just so that way these people can stay open.
Yeah, and we've all been burned buying online. You get something, you're like, wait a minute, like this label is not what it was supposed to be, or something like that.
Yes, we all have.
Yeah, and I've been buying more like Atari 2600 games because those things are dirt cheap right now.
Dan. Oh yeah.
And
that's Dan's
category. And like, man, those are so old. Like, pictures can't do a 2600 cartridge justice because, man, the label could be like ready to just fall off. Like barely any glue holding that thing on. So if you buy in person, you're like, okay, this one's got a actually good label. And it's the same price you'd find online. They're like $2 or $3, $5 at most. Usually. So
unfortunately, with the Atari cards, they're just prone to having faded labels. There's like nothing you can do around that. I mean, you can preserve it, like try to protect it a little bit.
Yeah.
Even doing that, like their label quality sucks.
It's and the glue. It's like you can just breathe on it or just look at it wrong, and like that label just pop right off. So you got to be careful for sure.
All right, Bones. You have any other questions for him?
Yeah, I wanted to know. Everybody, I would think, has a game that they would classify as their all-time favorite. Which one would your all-time favorite game be?
Ooh, yeah. I know it's just an obvious, popular answer, but for me, I have a tie for me between Ocarina of Time and there's two. Those two really feel like home to me when I plug those in and turn the console on. I think Mario 2, just because it was like the first game I could play and beat. I could be just a little kid, and you're like, wow, I actually beat this game. Like, sense of accomplishment. So, I know that's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Mario franchise, and not much of that kind of continued on. It's not even a real Mario game. I mean, to be honest, but that one probably my best memories. And I just replayed DuckTales, and then played the remastered version on the Wii U, and that game, yeah, a lot of memories of that one too. So those Capcom games from the 80s were something else, you know.
Yeah, good.
Any other questions, Bones, or you want me to move on to the next?
You can move on.
Okay, Dan. Got any questions for Kyle?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you already hit upon it. I was going to ask you, being the oldest member of the crew here, I was going to ask you, how far back in time does your collection go? Like, what are you interested in? And it sounds like Atari, so that's pretty far back.
Yeah, 2600 I would say is kind of the PC era for me when it comes to collecting video games. Just because said those are so cheap right now. They recommend people go out and buy those. I don't know what's going on with the prices of those, but they're being very ignored, I would say, at the moment. I definitely haven't gone before that, but there's really not much before that. But I try to collect everything, so I stay in about the same number for each console. I don't have a huge library, but like a dozen games for every Nintendo console besides the Virtual Boy. Don't collect that. But everything else, I try to have a little bit of every era just because it's all good, but definitely the older it is, the more historically important it's going to be. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I should point out that Chris mentioned Atari. I'm the Atari guy, but no, Linda is pretty good with Atari herself. She's got quite a collection. She likes. She definitely appreciates the Atari a lot, which I think is really cool. Just one other question I have is what is something that you're really looking for hunting down? What's your holy grail that you're looking for?
Goody
question. It changes so much, and then eventually you like hunt them down. Just weird stuff for sure. Like I've got a scope for my NES Zapper, and that was like a big deal for me to get finally. So I'll have video that kind of shows that off, and it really doesn't help with the shooting of the Zapper. You're just better off using, targeting there on the top of the Zapper. But man, just like that was like a holy grail for me. It's called like Quick Shot. That was a big deal. Or just like I got gold Wii Zelda controller, and then they had this like nunchuck that was gold that you could only get for like Club Nintendo or Japan or something like that. So things that are rare, are definitely going to be my favorite kind of thing to hunt down. But there's just so much, that you're always looking out for.
Yeah.
So hard to say for sure, but I've never owned like an Earthbound cartridge, so I guess that could, because those are skyrocketed to be ridiculous. Anything like that value wise, but I don't know. Hard to say. So
Cool. Yeah.
big fan of it all. So
no, that's it for me, Chris.
All right, Linda, any questions for Kyle?
Yeah, I got a question. When did you start your channel, and what inspired you to start your channel?
I've only been YouTubing for like a year, and most of the time I'm viewing. So huge viewer of YouTube. Of course, started a couple years ago just in reviews of games. So I watched a lot of like EGR Undertow back in the day, and then got into like Angry Video Game Nerd and all that, and then just awesome to where I was just watching as much as I could. Then through Retro Tony, I saw, hey, there's YouTubers here, free, and then hearing all the people he would shout out, like, "Hey Dad, let's play," or "You Nerd," and then that turned into, "Do You Nerd," talk about J Love or Captain Algebra or Linda, and just being like, oh man, so those recommendations, it just kind of blossoms and multiplies to where you're just watching everything, and then just like every YouTuber, you're like, I could do this. then set up a camera, try to get some good lighting going, figure out what you're going to talk about, and just put yourself out there. Part of it for me was I just wanted to, go to these game cons and meet people. Unfortunately, here in 2020, that ain't really going to happen. But I got a little taste of that in 2019, and definitely excited for 2021 or whatever. See, that kind of come back into place, because just love meeting other YouTubers, gamers in person, kind of talking about all this stuff. So just wanting to be a part of it all. So
Nice. Last question. If you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? As far as like video game hunting or exhibit or a place that is related to something that you were interested in for video games?
yeah, that's a good question. Oh man, it's hard to narrow down one, but like top three. Definitely, Tokyo. Watch tons of YouTube videos about game hunting there, getting those Famicom, Super Famicom games. They're cheap. It's unbelievable how, here's this Mario Zelda, game, and it's like pennies. It's like $1 or something. Or here it'd be like 20 for the NES, SNES version. But yeah, definitely Tokyo. But then would love to go to it's Texas, Dallas area where they have like the video game museum. That's a dream of mine to see that. Ever since I saw like Retro Tony do a video about, he did a tour through there, and then also with Linda, like I know you do a lot of the stuff there on the western part of, United States, and man, like Vegas, you can only imagine what kind of retro stores they would have. I mean, they kind of have the best stores of everything. So retro games, like, gotta be pretty amazing. So
Nice. That's it for me.
Okay, so let's go on to the next segment, which is Game of the Month. Bones, what's your Game of the Month?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Since we've all been on the Resident Evil kick, I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 2.
Dan, what's your Game of the Month?
I'll stay on the remake kick. The other game that's new I've been playing a lot is the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Linda, what's your Game of the Month?
Friday the 13th, baby. Alpha mother.
Kyle, what's your Game of the Month?
haven't been playing any new releases, but just trying to go to my back catalog. Just finished Twilight Princess HD, which was pretty good, better than I thought it'd be. But yeah, just like I said, playing DuckTales, back a lot of those memories. So definitely, yeah, DuckTales for me, the remastered one too. So
Yeah, my Game of the Month would be Turok. Since we were talking about it, it rang a little bell. Well, that will conclude this podcast. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Kyle, for coming in.
oh yeah, pleasure to be here.
And of
Yeah,
course,
awesome.
the normal podcast
Great to meet you,
crew.
Kyle.
Yep. Great to meet you, Kyle.
All right, thank you. Thanks to everybody, Linda. Yeah, Video Game Dust Sleeves. Dan. Yeah, Bones. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, pleasure.
And just for,
And like I said, check me out. Yeah, on YouTube
of course,
videos for 2020. Yeah, so.
I was just about to say that.
And definitely won over these great dust sleeves you get from Video Game Dust Sleeves. They're amazing.
Thank you. Kyle.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And just for J-Love, I'm going to say something because Diddy Kong was guess that box art. Hashtag Diddy Kong.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, let's close this podcast out.
And on that note, we're done.
Yeah, thank you again.
Adios.
Thank you again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Kyle. Check out everybody that's in here. Dan is on Instagram. DanCavDragon is only on Instagram. Check him out. And thank you guys, and later. As
Peace.
always, don't blow, just leave.
That's
Hey,
right.
Internet.
Later.